golden milk recipe, obviously, every family has a different one. My family's golden milk recipe usually ended up in the plants because it was terrible. So we didn't share that one. But Prabhu, or the Castronani family who grew our Pragati turmeric, this is a riff on theirs. I would say they are very committed to their health. And so they like chug it every morning religiously. And so it's like turmeric, black pepper, and ghee, which like helps with the absorption because fat helps with the absorption of curcumin.
Do you want to talk about the black pepper in it?
Yeah, about our black pepper, or just the fact that it needs black pepper? Yes.
Can you tell me everything that's in there right now? Before?
What did you put in?
I have the green cardamom and the black pepper, and I'm just going to give those a light crush and then add them to the mix.
Little smash. So essentially, even like a pinch of black pepper increases the bioavailability of curcumin to your body by 1,000% is like the science. So if you're having turmeric without black pepper or without a fat,
Don't do it.
it's just not working for you. Okay, so
Right.
what just happened?
So the cardamom and the black pepper went in.
I'm going to move this.
Now we're going to
You're welcome.
add some of the turmeric.
Are we measuring? Are we just
I'm going to
going
do it
the
by
ancestors?
eyeball.
this enough.
You know, little turmeric.
But let's just say a person who needs to measure as their first go. Give or take. What are we looking for?
It's about a tablespoon.
Ish.
Like, look at the book. Yeah, I don't know.
And then 3/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon. And we're going to bring it to a boil before we add the ginger.
the cinnamon.
Yes. Because if you add the ginger to cold milk and bring it to a boil, it will curdle.
You
A
heard
lot of people in our DMs have done this. Yeah.
Cinnamon cloud.
So essentially, the cinnamon, cardamom, and what was the other warming spice? No,
the pepper.
well, peppers. You need that. The cinnamon and the cardamom is like what we add to like make it nice. It's non-essential, but like makes it delicious and makes it taste like a treat.
We're going to wait for this to come to a boil.
This is where when I see people making golden milk by just like, taking milk and like putting powder in it and then stirring.
Walking
Like,
away.
oh, y'all can see the color, right? So that hasn't turned the marigold yellow at all. There has been absolutely no blooming of the marigold of the turmeric in there. But by the end of it, that's going to be like a deep, beautiful yellow. So yes, you must
It
cook your
smells
spice.
amazing.
Oh, we have some ghee here.
I know. Should we like put it here to warm it? Or I guess you could spoon it in.
Dump it.
I'll spoon it in.
And then adding, ginger. Oh, we have honey as sweetener. Nice.
Is your ginger grated, powdered? Talk to me about the ginger that you use.
This ginger is finely grated.
Okay.
You could just roughly chop it too. It's not, you're going to strain it out. So, and you can also use ground ginger.
I slice it.
We have an amazing ground ginger that I take with me when I'm like traveling because then I don't have to worry about fresh ginger because it has such a nice potency. So you can use ground ginger in this too.
Good ground ginger, acceptable.
Good.
Bad ground ginger, not acceptable.
Heard. Made a note there. Am I drinking this every morning, like daily?
I mean, my grandma
treat?
claimed that it would make your skin glow. I don't know. I
Oh.
threw in the plants, so like I'm not sure. But the Castronani family drinks it every morning.
Okay.
Before they have breakfast, so it's their like tonic in the morning, and they get fresh milk from their cows. So yeah, they're lucky ducks. It's like cream top.
Anti-inflammatory from that turmeric.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's really good iced.
Yes, I usually have it iced in the summer, like as a little afternoon pick-me-up.
I think Win does that as well. Yeah, Win's our COO. And then we do a golden milk blend on the website, but Nina does a cool thing where she adds it to her orange juice. So if you're adding like this combo of spices to orange juice, and then it's like a little complex and spiced and earthy, which I thought was delicious.
Fortified orange juice.
Yeah, exactly.
I need it. I like that. So the color is changing.
Color's
Tell me some more.
changing.
And I think we're going to add the ginger because it's like pretty much almost at a boil.
If it curdles, it'll be a demo.
Yes. Please don't curdle.
No worries. So a nub of ginger, how much are you thinking? I know it's in the book, Sana, but I just wanted it for the audience's sake.
2 teaspoons of ginger.
Thanks.
Someone in the culinary school did a good job.
Wrote it. Thank you, BU Culinary School.
So then just let this simmer for about 1 to 3 minutes
Okay.
and let all of those spices infuse. And then we're going to strain it and drink it.
Also, I just want to note, y'all can see that, right? Okay, so the cardamom friends, because they were smashed, are now like they've absorbed all the liquid and like look puffed up and rehydrated. But I find that if you don't smash them before you put them in, they will not rehydrate fast enough and therefore like get all their oil and flavor in. We had a fish curry made by somebody recently where they did everything flawlessly, but they didn't smash the cardamom before they made the curry. And the cardamom kind of went to waste because you couldn't taste it in the curry.
Okay.
So smash your cardamom.
So your oat means like actually the liquid absorbs.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the cardamom farmer?
About the Chaco family? Yeah.
us,
They're
please.
magical. Well, I had visited, I would say 14 to 15 cardamom farms before I showed up at the Chaco family farm. And cardamom is a cash crop, right? Right now, the price, I think, is about 5,000 rupees per kilogram, which is $45 per kilogram. So expensive. And so they take it very seriously. And as a result, it becomes a crop that a ton of pesticides and fertilizer is applied to because they can't mess with it, right? Like if something goes wrong with the harvest, they're screwed. So I was used to seeing farms that even if they were, organic certified, the way that they was farming was pretty monocrop, not a mix of things, and like clean rows, and usually nothing in like no weeds, no like shaded trees. But none of the cardamom was tasting very good, and all of it was failing my lab tests. So I was turning it into to labs, and like the highest priced organic cardamom was like miserably failing my lab tests. So I was getting nowhere essentially. It took about 14 months. And eventually I show up to the Chaco family farm and it is chaos. They have about, I would say, 9 layers of foliage. I couldn't tell where the cardamom plant began and where the ginger plant started or ended, and where there was a tree and suddenly there was pepper and then there was a coffee blossom. It was very intense and it was full of pollinators. So basically, like if you looked at their neighboring farm and you had to walk through their neighboring farm to get to their farm, and it was silence, right? There was nothing. There was no birds chirping, no buzzing. And then you get to their farm and it just comes alive. Knowing what I know about regenerative agriculture now, I see that that's great. And obviously that should have been what I was looking for all along. But back then I was like, this is a disaster. This man is so messy. Like he doesn't even know how to weed. And I kind of was like scathing in my feedback as I like trudged through the farm. Yeah. And then we went to the house where they have their drying facility. And I opened up a few pods and I was blown away. Yeah, it was like boom, truly. And I think, now Abraham and I, he's much older. He could sort of be my grandpa. He and I have a lovely relationship because he always jokes about how this young 20-something like showed up to the farm and dressed him down and then gave him like the best compliment of his life, like 10 minutes later, and has been his like buddy and buyer ever since. But what made it so good was that he was, first of all, he'd identified a variety that was really pest resistant, and that was actually able to grow wild with very little intervention. And as a result, he could keep it on the plant longer, which allowed it to fully ripen, which then developed more oil content and more flavor. So each pod, like your indication of good cardamom, I got like roasted on Bon Appetit recently because they were like, every time you talk about spices, you keep telling us like taste it, but how do we tell like off the shelf?
Yeah.
I was like, you can't tell off the shelf. That's the problem.
You have to open
That's
it up.
why the spice trade has been so bad for so long.
Pop it open.
Exactly. So with cardamom, you have to pop it open.
Speaking up.
And once you do, you have to see that it has lots of seeds in there. If it's kind of empty, it was picked when it was immature. Therefore, it just doesn't have the full oil content. So bursting at the seams is what you're looking for.
What I
Our
love
friend is
about
not
both-
really coming to boil, or did it?
I
Oh,
turned
and
it
you,
down.
I see.
No one needs boiling over.
No worries.
Yeah.
Thank you for that history. I think, and also that really conversation about how you learned from your initial ideas about what a farm should look like, but really seeing what it needs
Yeah.
in order to achieve that really amazing crop. So,
Honey's gone in.
no worries. Honey's
in.
going in.
I think we're gonna strain it and
Yes.
cross our fingers that I don't spill this everywhere.
The original plan was for you to strain that into a mug. Aren't you glad I brought this?
Very glad.
You can see the dynamic duo. This, I mean, I can't wait to try this. Oh, the saffron story.
Saffron.
It feels like the saffron story is going to happen in the lobby. We are going, but thank you for reminding me because I'm also curious about the saffron story. Ooh, that was thank you. You absolutely strained that with zero spill.
All right. Now
I think you're the taster.
Oh, I signed up for this. So as Asha is putting that together, we do want to thank you both for coming to Boston for this amazing priorities, amazing book that you have written, and for telling the stories of not just the farmers, but also their wives and women who have been doing this work behind the scenes, and for almost a decade of bringing amazing, flavorful spices that have stories and also is rooted in equity. So thank you for your work.
Thank you. How is it?
It's hot, but
Was just
flavorful.
boiling.
I know, but flavorful. Thank you.